Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to the Spuddiest stream, and welcome back to the Rocket League Splash series. This is the Tsunami Cup now, that is about to be underway. So we're going to have a great time tonight. I hope you all are doing well here. If you saw us earlier this evening, you'll know we had a match from the Cyclone Cup not too long ago. Silent Wolves lost Jackson Dennis Gauntlet 3-1. Now we have the Tsunami Cup make its entrance, and it is a KCG matchup. Krusty Crew Gaming. Krash takes on Krusty's Feet Minions. We're gonna have a great time here. A best of 5 this evening. And oh, what a best of 5 it will be. And simply put, this is the start of the season. Both these teams trying to do as well as they can. Pressure is absolutely on right now, and these teams know it. This is your time to play well, to prove yourself. I can't wait to see how this is going to go, but yeah, the start of the season for all these teams has definitely been interesting, to say the least. Krusty's Feet Minions are 0-1. Our roster with Icarus and Squiddy, Quest, Night Nolly, all very recognizable players. And KCG Krash are 1-0. Dan, Cool, Daze, and Anima Killer. Anima Killer, one of the OGs. He's been here, I think he's been here every single season. He's been around for a very long time. So we've got, again, some very top tier talent here tonight. And in this best of 5 match to determine who's going to win in week 2. And we'll get things underway in just a moment here. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. All these amazing players and these amazing teams. We just gotta wait and see. Things will go here as just gonna wait on these rosters to give us the all okay. But again, to all of you who are watching, hello, your mom's queso. Nice to see you again. We're just gonna get things sorted out, but you guys may have noticed I've actually moved my. I did this last stream as well, right at the end of it, because people weren't hearing me well. I've moved my mic. Let me know, by the way, because I have moved my mic. If the mic quality gets worse, gets better. I know it's better now, because it was better at the end of my last stream, because I was having issues cutting out. And the reason why is because my mic, when it was above me, I wasn't going to speak in it. Now I'm speaking in it. Let me know if this ever gets worse. By the way, because if it does, I will move this thing around a little bit and play with it a little bit. The mic arm's pretty quiet. It's really quiet. As you can see, very quiet, so not really an issue. You like the colors? Yeah, yeah, it is a Quadcast. It is a Quadcast S, I believe. But yeah, you guys never see the mic arm. That's the thing, you guys never see this thing. Now you get to see the mic arm for a little bit, so enjoy this. This is a new look for the stream. But yes, the color, it is a Quadcast. It's a Quadcast S, I believe. So we'll get everybody in the lobby in just a moment here. I think everybody's either joining in or has joined in. As, again, we'll get things sorted out in just a moment. Thank you for the follow there, by the way. Who was that followed me? It was, if I move to this screen. Let's see. Who followed? It was, thank you. Oh, it was a sub. Thank you, Krusty, for the sub. Very nice of you. I'm excited to see this matchup here tonight. KCG versus KCG. Both these teams part of the same organization in Krusty Crew Gaming. You love the logo? What do you mean? Oh, you mean the logos of the teams. I was going to say, what logo? You mean like the fact that my mic's on the logo? No, the team logos. Yeah, they're great. I know Tommy said he might be watching these tonight because he said that the logos are great. Thank you for the cheer, by the way, Krusty. Shoutouts to you. Thank you so much. There we go. I was like, when's that ping coming in? My alerts aren't turned off, so. No comment on those. I think it's just a JPEG of somebody's foot playing on a keyboard. I think that's all it is. It's just a JPEG of someone's foot. I will say, a very nicely clipped foot. That foot has got some really nicely clipped toenails. Can't say the same for my feet. My feet are not that pretty looking. As we are still waiting on one more player here, so we'll be getting things started in just a moment. The other said foot would appreciate that. Yeah, the question is, whose foot is that? I don't want to know. I know I'm almost certain it's not Krusty's. I get just some sort of I think it's just a random JPEG of a foot, which I'm totally down for that. Anyways, I think everybody's in, so let's see, is everybody in? No, they're not. One thing I'm going to say, though, preemptively, knowing this is going to be the likely case, Icarus is probably going to have some random weird username. knowing Icarus, he's on Krusty's feet minions. I'm sure he's going to have some very silly username. He always has one. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation everybody's in. So let's get this series going. Why not? It is KCG Krash versus Krusty's feet minions. KCG Krash on the blue, Krusty's feet minions on the orange. Here we go. We'll get things underway here. So, KCG Krash mentioned it. 1-0 right now. 1 in week 1. Krusty's feet minions on the orange. More so, I think, as a for fun team, but it's going to be an interesting place nonetheless. Night Nolly specifically, and Squiddy, and Icarus. All these players kind of have been in that surge level for a while. So to see them move up to Tsunami this season, really quite interesting for the very least. There, definitely going to need to play above their rank level, but that's something that these players absolutely can do. Again, I mentioned it before, what a natural kind of rank progression looks like. These players have had their time in the Surge Cup, so their progression up to Tsunami has not been super fast. It's been a very average progression, I would say. And I'm definitely excited to see how things will go as KCG will now have a chance upfield. There we go. Days trying to put one on. The back is, and I'm almost certain that's Icarus there with Kiwi Enjoyer. I do like the Kiwi Enjoyer. I've had my fair share of Kiwis. Can't say I'm an enjoyer of Kiwis, but I don't mind them. So here goes Squiddy. We're looking field for Icarus again. Guys, get the dunk! That's gonna go on targets! And a little tap in from Icarus to take goal 1. Krusty's feet minions with goal 1. And yeah, it's just a triple commit from KCG Krash. Everybody went for that one. This Krash roster has been around for a while, though they have undergone a good number of changes. It's a nod to Queso because she's from New Zealand. Fair enough. Oh, as that's gone off the post. So by Kiwi, it's not the fruit, it's literally the person. I see. Cool, cool. Although I'm impressed somehow you're watching, because is it like the middle of the night for you? if you're in New Zealand, it's like the middle of the night. You're literally across the world. I guess it might be your morning. An interesting morning routine here with another shot on from Night Nolly. And Krusty's feet minions doing really well to get things started. When you can just play like this, find some really nice movement. Yeah, I thought so. It's 2 p.m. Yeah, so it's like early afternoon then. Fair play, fair play. 14-hour difference though, my goodness. Oh, I'm happy you're here. One of the more committed people I've seen now knowing the time difference, although I guess it's not that crazy considering that most Rocket League would happen at around that time anyways. As Night Nolly will race back, Squiddy's got to be a bit more careful here as a play to the back wall. Squiddy, Daze, stopped by Icarus as he'll get the block on Anima Killer. Cool. KCG Krash really need to get things started. It was a very lethargic beginning. Again, one with a lot of rotational issues and is still showing up right now as Anima Killer. That's off the bar. He'll go again, but he's been bumped out of the way. Krusty's feet minions will take control back. That's cool. Stopped by Squiddy. Anima Killer. Off the back wall. Cleared away as Krusty's feet minions up by 2. Looking for one more as Night Nolly will leave it. Squiddy, he's actually choosing not to go here. Now he will. Day's not up very fast though. And again for KCG Krash, just feels like that rotation isn't there for these 3 players. They're constantly stepping on each other's toes. Constantly in positions where they're double committing, triple committing to plays. That rotation is really going to struggle for them. They've got to be able to get a hold of themselves soon, or else I expect more goals from Krusty's feet minions. As Squiddy, cleared back by Daze. He'll be held by Icarus as he doesn't really have the boost here. An open chance for KCG Krash to take their first of the series. Will be denied as Squiddy will clear again. And with a long pinch. Daze is next to it. Up off the ceiling. Cool. getting pushed away here by Icarus, as now he'll go across the goal line. Krusty's feet minions getting a taste of what it's like on defense, and you can tell that rotation's falling apart, and Anima Killer will put in the final touch. KCG Krash, we're waiting, and that rotation from Krusty's feet minions wasn't bound to hold up for long. Again, being the lower ranked team, they're going to have some issues keeping that rotation in line. And you can tell already, 1 goal lead for Krusty's feet minions now as they'll look for an answer. Will be kept away by Anima Killer. Chased down by Night Owl here will dispossess the KCG Krash offense. Icarus, that's a high first touch. Gets stopped by Cool midair. Now it's Daze. That net's open. But nobody there fast enough for KCG. Here's a chance for Anima Killer. Squiddy doesn't have this. And that shot dings off the post. Just barely wide. But KCG Krash continue anyways. Anima Killer cleared back by Squiddy. With a minute to go. As these feet minions look to keep the offense going and look to waste out as much time as possible. Daze. The back corner, that's an awkward bounce, and Daze will be next to it! Recovered off the touch, Daze will be there! And KCG Krash tie the game at 2. Anima Killer. Bumped offline. With half a minute to go, 1 goal will likely be the difference maker. Krusty's feet minions went off to such a dominant start, but their lower ranked players have been a struggle so far. As I said, a lot of the season for Krusty's feet minions is going to be getting themselves used to this high level competition. And that includes teams like KCG Krash. Although their issue is on their rotations, they fall apart too quickly. I've got to make sure they don't double commit too often, or else Krusty's feet minions, or really any team for that matter, will find ways to score. Downfield play, maybe one last chance. Everybody jumping in here for Krusty's feet minions as Night Nolly. Here's his chance. Back wall cleared away by Anima Killer. Squiddy keeps things airborne. Icarus can jump, but he will choose not to. Daze will hit this to the back corner, and we have OT. Game 1. And overtime already. Maybe a chance to take some easy goals, to take a huge first win for both these teams. Well, it's still the very beginning of the season. You don't really know where anybody's going to end up, or where anybody really is in many ways compared to each other. All it comes down to is, how do you play in these first couple matches? How do you set your season up? Do you set yourself up for success? Well, the answer is yes! Icarus, my goodness! We've been seeing him go for it all game long, but eventually he was going to hit one, and that is a perfect way to end game 1. Icarus winning his team up 1 game. And what a performance. What a showing from Icarus. And that is only game 1, but Krusty's feet minions now off to a good start. 0-1. They need this win more than KCG Krash do. Again, their loss earlier this season came to Verzipmar. Another kind of really new roster. Well, they're not new, but a new roster that we don't really know much of right now. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter who you lose to. You just gotta get your wins where they come, when you can come by them. Krusty's feet minions with a game 1 victory, and Icarus himself is a player who I've always commented before how he always feels like he doesn't have enough space to make things happen, where he's asking for too much. And against Tsunami Cup level players, he's going to have to deal with the fact that there's not a lot of space. But if he can find room to make things happen, if he can use even a little bit of space that he gets, Icarus is one of those players who absolutely could be very exceptionally well-rounded. Just is that I haven't seen him do it as often as I'd like to. For now, though, for Krusty's feet minions, it's about getting things done on offenses. They'll have to go upfield again. Night Nolly. Chance to score as that one's sent on. Cool will be waiting. And with a clear from Anima Killer, there's room that this KCG Krash team can work with is Icarus. Night Nolly. Squiddy now will take this one in the air. Here he goes again, off the ceiling. Cool. Doesn't get a great touch on this. Does force Icarus to go high, but Night Nolly jumping in, and he's completely missed his effort. That was one you should be scoring, and Night Nolly, it could not have been more open for him there. There was nobody back defending it. Krusty's feet minions were given an out there for goal 1, and they didn't take it. Zanima Killer, saved away by Squiddy. Icarus on the dribble. Cool. Got bumped into this one, but KCG Krash will keep it. Still in the midfield, though. Squiddy, Night Nolly just goes wide. But I love this composure that we're seeing from Krusty's feet minions. Everybody has a role. Everybody is doing what they need to do. Nobody's stepping on each other's toes here. I just love that it's one after the other. It's a conveyor belt of offense. And again, everybody's getting involved, but they may have overcommit here. As Cool racing back to get to the play. Maybe got a shot on. But it won't happen here. As Anima Killer, another chance. Squiddy's waiting for it. Cool will leave it. As KCG Krash will keep possession. Although Squiddy not going to let them have it for long. High press here for Krusty's feet minions. Still looking for goal 1. As Night Nolly to the back wall. Daze could get bumped. Still waiting for it is Squiddy. Now he'll go and just force them into an awkward position. One after the other. Krusty's feet minions over and over. Night Nolly now cutting rotation. Here comes Icarus, but the play goes high. Demo will open up some room for KCG Krash to clear this one away. Now they maybe have some chance on offense. As Daze will look to get things started here. Everybody in the same position here for Krusty's feet minions. But it will be at least somewhat safe, although not very, whenever that ball is hanging in front of the net like that. But they'll clear. Or at least they will try to clear, as Icarus runs right through Daze, now looking in midfield to Night Nolly. And here's some offense to work with, as Night Nolly was looking for a second touch there. Missed it completely, and that's why he got players like Squiddy right behind him. Cool. Night Nolly has support from Icarus there, but good recognition from Daze to get in the way of that play. KCG Krash starting to recognize more and more what Krusty's feet minions are doing. Still, nobody has scored just yet, and that first goal's got to come sooner rather than later. Demos raining out as Cool with open room. Squiddy can't go. This one's saved by Icarus as a little bit of help from the post. As still, no goals. Daze. Night Nolly will save. Krusty's feet minions now starting to really regret that open net miss they had earlier. Again, the one that really wants to prove themselves would be Night Nolly. He's the one who missed that open net. He wants another chance. He may need to work for it, though. And this is resting for Night Nolly. Unable to get it out, though, and Krusty's feet minions first forced back without a lot of boost for Night Nolly to work with. He just cannot get to the ball in time. Icarus, long, heavy clear, will have some room, but without boost, you really are only asking to have the ball get away from you. Oh, but miscommunication here. KCG Krash losing possession, although not for long. As Krusty's feet minions take control on defense. Squiddy. Cool. Back pass to Daze, but Daze doesn't really like this one, and neither do I. That pass was absolutely horrible. Bouncing ball high above Daze's head. There was nothing about that pass that made it easy to read. KCG Krash will be happy that didn't create anything worse, although still this ball kept up at 0 seconds. Anima Killer doesn't have this, but it stays in front of the nets, and for a second straight game, we've gone to overtime. Icarus ended the first one in favor of Krusty's feet minions. Now in game 2, who has what it takes? Night Nolly forces it! Night Nolly will just take it! What happened here? Daze got faked, Cool got faked, Anima Killer got faked. I mean, it's just a walk-in goal for Night Nolly. And Krusty's feet minions now, a second straight game won. Having not won at all. So, having not won the week 1 match, how big it would be for them to win in week 2, especially against a team like KCG Krash that they know proving that that rank differential doesn't mean too much. I mean, to be fair, for players like Icarus, he's played at this level before. He knows what it's like to be at this level. I mean, all these players are at this level for a reason. Now it's all about being able to perform when it matters. To be fair, I'm very impressed with Icarus so far this series. Again, being a player that in the past has been known to be very much not a team-oriented player, someone who's been very solo-oriented, I have loved this more leadership kind of aspect that we're seeing out of Icarus. And it's not one based on mechanics, based on pure skill. It's one that's based on being able to support his teammates. And it's a sort of level of Icarus that we haven't seen. I know it's what I knew he could do, as we are getting a call for a... Oops. Reset here. We are going to get a reset here for a connection outage. Krash losing one of their defenders. Hopefully these teams will recognize that. Do any of these guys... Okay, Animal Killer sees this. We're gonna... Yeah, we'll let them have a reset here. They disconnected in the first 30 seconds. We'll give them a match reset here, so... That goal will be wiped from the leaderboards, and we'll set up for game 3 here, so... We had a crash there in the first 30 seconds with one of the players. We will get them all back in. So quickly, let me get things set up here for this next game. Yeah, with the crash out early, we can reset. All right, lobby is back up. Hopefully, we'll get these teams back in just a moment. All right, there we go. We got our game 3 lobby reset here. Hopefully we won't have another crash issue there. But yeah, that does sometimes happen. The fortunate thing is it happened early. If it happens later in the game, I can't really do much about it. Usually about a minute 30. After about that amount of time, I can't really reset a game. But fortunately, it was in the first 30 seconds. Nobody scored. So we are good to reset things here again while we do wait on these players. Once again, shoutouts to our sponsors in Crack Gaming, Claim to Fame Entertainment, and Next to New Esports. So hopefully we'll get these teams back in. There we go. Confirmation that they are going to be joining this lobby. So we got things set up here. Hopefully we won't have another issue here with the disconnects. Alright, we're back in. And hopefully we won't have no disconnect there with, I think it was Dan who... Or is it Anima? No, it was Daze. Sorry, not Dan. Dan's not playing. Daze is. Daze with the disconnect. Hopefully that won't happen again. But we're back in for game 3 here. So a reset to game 3. And KCG Krash on the offense first, and with a goal immediately too. Well, I'm not one to say that the disconnect benefits any team, but that definitely benefited KCG Krash. That is an immediate start. Seven seconds was all they needed, and KCG Krash trying to start the reverse sweep in this best of 5, and of course these feet minions. One benefit, they have a lot of games to go, but as I was mentioning again, I'm really impressed with Icarus this series. He's always been a player I've always had my issues with whenever I see him play, and it's mostly because I never really considered him like a team-based player, but tonight obviously is a different version of Icarus that is playing very team-oriented, and I like that from him. I like it. I like seeing Icarus, use his skills to allow his teammates to breathe. And it's definitely a position I think Icarus, with his skill, with his knowledge of the field, is going to benefit from, is being able to do a lot of that dirty work in offense, hanging around that first one to jump into offense kind of position. Absolutely the player that can do that, and again, he has been a huge difference maker so far as Squiddy. We'll hit it back to Icarus. Off the sidewall, second touch. We know Icarus can hit these. We'll go right in front of the blue net as well. No one there to shoot, as they'll clear it away, but not very far. Squiddy will hang on to this one, and he's got room. That flick goes right to Cool, though. If he just doesn't flick it there, he's got time. He can really work with it as Icarus, off his own back wall. Daze Night Nolly will take his time here, although he doesn't really get the flick on this one, and that means his teammates have to challenge again. Lower boost now, it's going to be even more difficult for them to do that. There's a long touch, Icarus. Off the ceiling, Night Nolly to go for net. That could have been a goal there. Animaclear had no boost. I don't think he realized just how good of an opportunity that really was. I think he'll want it back here as soon as he takes a look at the replay at just how great of a chance that was. Because KCG Krash were not just vulnerable, they were very vulnerable there. Again, without any boost, they really couldn't challenge. They were only really standing there just to put pressure on the immediate shot. Evidently, it did enough for them, but not a position you really want to be in often here as Icarus. Off the floor, that is a high pinch, and another heavy clear for Krusty's feet minions. Bring a lot more to those clears now, but hey, it works! The demo from Squiddy opens things up. I love this dude. Not only does he get the demo there, but he bumps out Daze to start the play. That is the dirty work, as I've said before, that these players need to be willing to do. That's exactly what Krusty's feet minions are doing. They're doing the dirty work. They're getting things done. Even when they're not in rotation, they are still involved. As Squiddy left for Icarus. Squiddy will go again, trying to poke one by Cool. He'll go towards the net. Icarus can't get there! And Krusty's feet minions, they send everybody upfield. But clearly that was the wrong idea. Night Nolly, when you have no boost, the last thing you want to do is place yourself too high up on the field. It was a bit too obvious that he had no boost, and that's going to really hurt him here. As Night Nolly takes Cool out of the way. Now Squiddy, front post, does get two to commit. Oh, Night Nolly should have called for that one. Icarus didn't see him. He'll go to work, and now he'll go for the bump. As Squiddy gets denied. Night Nolly again. Already on no boost here, and that boost management for Krusty's feet minions. Struggle a little bit more on offenses. They are having to play a lot higher up on KCG Krash. KCG Krash again are sitting back, more defensive than ever. And again, that's forcing Krusty's feet minions to use more boost to push higher up on the field. And to really think about their challenges. They can't go as heavy into the plays they want to. They have to be smart. They have to be controlled. But it's so tough when the play that when you're taking challenges against your own opponent's back wall. Offense really wants to be that high up in the final third because you just can't get plays done up there. Krusty's feet minions still looking for more offense here. But one thing that they have done really well though in this final third has been those bumps this game. They have been way more willing to get in the face of KCG. Unfortunately, it has only been one factor, and you're just not going to beat a team with bumps alone. As a play in the midfield will be straight to Cool. For KCG Krash. A benefit with a minute to go. A little bit of insurance that they can hold on to, at least for the time being. They're looking for more as Squiddy does get up to this one. Cool. And Daze, and a bit of an overcommit here, a bit of a rift in that rotation. Could have nearly been dangerous. Night Nolly was the one walking in on it, and he has been further back than he has been in the last couple games here. Krusty's feet minions trying to adapt to a much more defensive KCG Krash. As here goes Icarus. That's going to fall in. Top left corner for Icarus. And again, you can rely on Icarus to do what he does so well, and that is shooting. Not only is he a team player, but he still has those individual talents. Such a fun player to watch at times. Especially when he's playing as well as he is right now. Although Squiddy, oh, that is a horrible decision. That is very one-dimensional. And that is a gift to KCG Krash. Squiddy, he's playing the defensive on that kickoff. When you play that defensively, you just can't go for the ball in the midfield. Not without your teammates behind you. As the only reason you're in that position is if you lose the kickoff badly. That was a loss, but it wasn't a bad loss. And simply for Squiddy, he's got to do better on that positioning. He cannot challenge so high up. Especially with no one there to save him. Krusty's feet minions. That goal, or really that mistake from Squiddy, will eliminate any chance of coming back this game. That means the series continues as KCG Krash will take a victory over Krusty's feet minions here in Game 3. But there's still a lot more time, a lot more games to go. If KCG Krash want to win this one, again, they've got to complete a reverse sweep. That is no easy feat, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. That's going to be very difficult with how Krusty's minions are playing. This is Game 4. Reminder, Krusty's feet minions can still win with a game victory, but it's about being able to make better decisions this game. Not overcommitting so high, not challenging when they don't have to. Maybe slowing themselves down just a slight bit on their decision making. It feels like they're making a bit too many impulse decisions, and that is only going to hurt you at this level. You do not want to make impulse plays. It's all about knowing the right decision, recognizing the play in front of you. Impulse decisions are made by emotions, made by assumptions, and you don't want to do that, especially with how good these teams are. Anima Killer, looking for goal 1. Night Nolly will save it, and that touches well from Night Nolly. Only helps him here as it keeps it to the back wall, wasting a lot of time for KCG Krash. They can't get a second shot. Krusty's feet minions will see it too. This one gets out of their own half as Icarus trying to test stays on the back wall. Now Squiddy, another back wall play. This one uncovered without another chance to shoot. KCG Krash aren't going to exactly need to be the ones touching that one. As a bump, Squiddy will be waiting for it. Now some open room. Anima Killer and Daze rushing back. Here goes Night Nolly. Squiddy trying to get the bump. Won't connect. And the shot's off target as well. Now Night Nolly. Squiddy. Flip reset. Anima Killer will keep this off the back wall as now goes Night Nolly. Cool. Icarus. Oh, that's a great first touch. He can shoot from here as well. KCG Krash paying extra attention to Icarus here because we know what he can do. He's got the mechanics to boot his level here, so expect to see a lot of mechanical plays from Icarus as Squiddy. Anima Killer and Daze. Night Nolly. Cool off the side wall. Maybe another touch for Cool is easily kept up by Squiddy, but that's left right in front of the net, and Squiddy would have loved to have that one back. A gift! Another one to KCG. I don't know, is it Christmas? I think we're 6 months away from that, but it absolutely feels like it is, because KCG Krash keeps getting presents wrapped with a bow. Squiddy now, for the second time in 2 games, has now given the ball straight in front to KCG Krash. And you can't afford to do that. You can't give them open shots like that. It's simple mistakes that will cost you. And it's simple mistakes that are costing Krusty's feet minions. As off the posts, Cool will take it. Krusty's feet minions now down by 2. KCG Krash looking to go on the reverse sweep. Again, as I said, it's simple mistakes from Krusty's feet minions. Bad mechanical touches. Bad times to challenge. Mistakes, you can't make them at this level. Unless you are expecting to get scored on, because that's exactly what's going to happen as Night Nolly now. Back wall, and again, what's this? Icarus jumped in. Night Nolly had a shot there. He absolutely had that second touch. I would have just loved to see Icarus there pull off of that play. Let Night Nolly take it. Instead, Krusty's feet minions are just not going to get offense out of this. It's off the ceiling, Anima Killer. Squiddy will leave it as Night Nolly jumping in. With room, Night Nolly will go. Anima Killer. Hear this one away is Squiddy. Temo's in front of him here. That's a bad touch. It is straight to Daze. And Squiddy is having a worse than worst matchup right now. He was consistent at the first couple games. He wasn't all that recognizable. Man, he is really struggling now at this level. Mechanical mistakes, and now's your kind of the point where if you are on Krusty's feet, minions, you gotta just talk to Squiddy and let him know to forget about these pass, because right now, that has gotta be digging a hole into his chest. It is so tough to recover when you make those kind of mistakes, and they really do become costly. Squiddy now on a whiff. Cool. With Icarus back in support. He'll take this one away. Daze on the corner as Icarus will jump in. Back touch to Night Nolly. He won't be fast enough, and Squiddy, that has gone towards his own nets, and Cool will set things up in front. Time ticking away, and I think we are going to Game 5 at the end of this matchup. Squiddy, once again denied, as this time it's Daze, one-on-one with Night Nolly, but in comes Icarus from behind. It's Krusty's feet, minions, looking for a goal this game as Squiddy. Heavy first touch will go straight to Cool, and Icarus, he pushed a bit high for that play. He'll be able to get back in time, but won't get very far with it as Anima Killer. Pitched high. Icarus. Daze. Anima Killer. One more. Why not? And KCG Krash now got some real positivity coming into the Game 5. This has now been 2 games straight where they have taken full advantage of these mistakes from Krusty's feet, minions. And again, if there's any one player in specific I'm looking at, it's Squiddy going to Game 5. He has made far too many simple mistakes here, and I have to imagine, again, he's in his own head at this point. You don't make those kind of errors unless you're in your own head. I think Squiddy himself, with off of those mistakes, has just not been able to really recover. Because these feet, minions, how do you elevate a player like Squiddy, who's making mistakes? How do you get them to play like they did before? Because those mistakes, they're going to cost you. How does a player rise from that kind of performance? We'll have to wait and see, but we are going to Game 5 here, and KCG Krash could complete the reverse sweep. And with Krusty minions, they are making the call to wait a little bit longer here, so they look like they're taking this whole entire minute just to talk things out. That is the right decision at this point. Taking a good amount of time just to talk, to re-engage. Because this is it. This is Game 5, and they have had 3 chances. They will have their 3rd and final chance to win this series. For KCG Krash, a reverse sweep potential now. And for Krusty's feet, minions, can they get out of their own head? Can they get that momentum back going? Can they find that sort of amazing rotation we saw earlier? Really does come down to scoring first. I think that's everything this team is holding on to, is if they can get that first goal. Krash, if they can get the first goal over KCG, Krusty's feet, minions, I think all that positivity that they had, talking in between the break, is gone. It will be an even bigger blow to the Krusty's feet, minions than what we've seen earlier tonight. Krusty's feet, minions, all about getting themselves a good start, but they're not going to get one there. Anima Killer off the near post and in. And for Icarus, I don't know what that touch was, but it wasn't a good one, that's for sure. Being a bit ahead of himself there. I think he was looking for a pre-flip flick up, but he doesn't need to go for a flick there. If he just takes the control and just dribbles the ball into his own back wall, they're not going to challenge back there. An odd decision from Icarus, and got a little bit too cool for his own liking. Now, Krusty's feet, minions, as I said, all that positivity between games 4 and 5 they had talking to each other is gone. It is all down. It all could really be downhill from here, unless they can get things started soon. Squiddy, and that player that I'm going to be watching this game to see if they'll be able to really improve on themselves. Ooh, that is a massive touch. Night Nolly. He'll be back in time, but Anima Killer saved by Icarus. As Krusty's feet minions already back on offense as Icarus will force one to go. Now Squiddy, cool. Nearly got bumped, but got back in time to save. Another heavy clear for KCG Krash. Squiddy, very challenge from Cool. We've seen him go for a couple of those successfully as well. Krusty's feet minions, they want time to build players out of the midfield. They're not going to get that time, though, when KCG Krash continue to challenge as early as they are. As Squiddy, back wall. Cool, can't go for this in days. He's backwards. It is Icarus. Still Icarus, and he should have taken an earlier shot. A missed opportunity. Turned away from the play. Didn't set himself up for any opportunities to score. And we go again as Krusty's feet minions looking for the one. Icarus, pass two. Anima Killer huddling in his own net there. Cowering away in fear, but he gets the block that his team needs. And so far, a 1-goal difference is determining this series. Cool. Double commit for Krusty's feet minions as a demo will open things up. Cool now. Getting one right by Squiddy and Night Nolly. Icarus, awkward spawn, will stay on the back wall as here goes Days. Icarus can't take it, neither can Night Nolly. Squiddy waiting. Now's his chance to go. It's an infield play as Icarus using all he has in the tank to get to that one. And Krusty's feet minions panicking. They have done better this game on defense, but their offense has still been yet to score. They didn't score in Game 4 either, so on a massive drought at this point. Oh, he missed it! It's on the line! It's in! Oh, it's another mistake from Icarus! This was just looking like it was going to relax in front of the net. Oh, that's a horrible touch for Icarus. Straight into Cool. And his teammates had full faith of him in there. A second for KCG Krash. As Icarus needs to put his team back on the map. As Squiddy looks in midfield. Anima Killer will clear. Cool. And it's another Icarus completely out of the play. And KCG Krash really do make it worse for Krusty's feet minions. This one has fallen apart just like the last couple games. And no matter whose it is making the mistakes, Icarus or Squiddy or even Night Nolly, Krusty's feet minions just could not keep it together. As a chance back! They're not over just yet, that's for sure. And with a play right in front, Anima Killer just backflipped on the spot. That's a goal that Squiddy will absolutely take. We're going right back into plays with KCG Krash. Looking to hold down this lead. Half a minute to go. It's not a lot of time here. But Krusty's feet minions need to work fast. Night Nolly across the goal, but too powerful for Icarus to jump on. Now goes Days. Squiddy will get the save here as Icarus will move down the field quickly as well. Off the corner. Squiddy. Oh, he doesn't get the shot off, and time's running out here. Night Nolly can't get the clear. 10 seconds to go. They gotta score here, but Anima Killer denies the opportunity. Days will clear, and this ball, the time will run out. The ball, once it hits the floor, KCG Krash, reverse sweep Krusty's feet minions in a 5-game set. They advance to 2-0, and for Krusty's feet minions, a second straight week of disappointments. This one will really hurt for them because they had 3 chances to win it. Simple mistakes were their undoing tonight. KCG Krash was able to elevate off the back of those errors. It wasn't a great performance for KCG. Krash, admittedly, they definitely didn't play to win this series. But they took advantage of errors. They got the win at the end of the day. Their record will stay undefeated. This ball is still yet to hit the floor. Nobody wants this game to end. Unless KCG Krash just milking it in right now. Maybe we'll see a goal to end off this one. That would be quite a treat as Anima Killer. Kept up by Night Nolly. Cool. Anima Killer. Oh, light tap up here for days, but Squiddy will clear. And Night Nolly, now his chance to shoot. Back wall for Icarus. That's going to hit the floor. And we'll end game 5. KCG Krash will reverse sweep Krusty's feet minions. It was a long battle, that's for sure. But they got the job done. And in a series like that, it was one where it just felt like Krusty's feet minions could not close things out. And, well, disappointing, I'm sure, for them, because they had their opportunities to win this series. But again, that will end the series as we'll get the chat with Anima Killer now. Welcome in. Hello, Anima Killer. A 3-2 win. KCG Krash now advanced to 2-0. That was a long series. You didn't... It's safe to say that this KCG Krash did not play the best tonight, but you got your win. How are you feeling now after the end of the series?
Oh, it was quite the thriller. The first 2 games, we were kind of no clue what on earth we were doing. But third game, we kind of locked in and just said, control the midfield, control the boost, and do what they've been doing to us. And it kind of worked.
Absolutely did work. You got the job done. You got yourself in the right place to get things sorted out. Talk to me about this reverse sweep. It was a long battle, but you guys really did dominate in those last couple of games. What clicked in the middle part of the series? Because after game 3, it felt like whatever it was, those demons that you maybe had in those first couple of games, they were gone. What happened in game 3?
So I think the big shocker was that the disconnect threw off the other team's momentum, which I think played a big factor. But we just started culminating together and energizing ourselves. Isn't like an all or nothing mentality like the last stand of Sparta, that. We kind of channeled our inner rush energy and just sent the house on everything, and it ended up working.
Well, you absolutely did get the job done here. Well, now that you're 2-0, your season's been pretty good. You're going to be one of the couple teams now in the Tsunami Cup. People will be looking at what is it like being having your team be one of the ones that's leading in the Tsunami Cup. That a team that people are going to look at and look to copy.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. Last season, I ended up dropping out of Tsunami because of stress and issues like that. But I don't have any of that here. My teammates are so amazing. They're wonderful people. They're so chill, and I'm honestly so happy to be a part of this team right now. And if you other people are out there trying to watch our gameplay, we haven't shown our whole bag of tricks, so don't put away your pen and paper. We'll be back for more.
Exactly. Well, again, you guys have looked good. You got the win in Game 5. It's a 2-0 win. Of course, before you leave, do you have any shoutouts, any last things you want to say?
Shout out to my former teammates, Icarus and Quest, on the other team. Icarus played really well. He did his best. Shout outs to them. All love, no hate. It was a fun, competitive game. Love the shout outs to my good boy Dan, who's probably in the stream. He's not feeling very well. This is why he didn't play tonight. Shout out to my mom and dad for letting me play this late at night and not yelling me for screaming so loud. Yeah, that's about it from me. Oh, shout out to you, of course, for casting. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining Anima Killer. Congratulations to KCG Krash. They will win the match over Krusty's Feet Minions. Have an amazing rest of the night, Anima Killer. Take care.
You too.
And I'll end the night here. Thank you all so much for joining the Spodia stream and the Rocket League Splash series here again, sponsored by Krash Gaming, Next to New Esports, and Claim to Fame Entertainment. Thank you all so much again. Our night was full of great action. It's a 4-game series and a 5-game series. But that is all from me. Thank you all so much for joining. Have an amazing rest of your evening. Take care. Be well. And we'll see you again another night.